Hello, this is JR, and I am submitting this as part of my application for the Board of Directors of the Professional Photographers of America. I'm answering questions 1 and 6, kind of in the same video. What do I think PPA is really awesome at? Well, one, it's great just having a professional organization that one can turn to. I have made many friends. I've got many connections. The Imaging USAs are awesome. There's so many resources that PPA has to give to all of its members, including some great insurance benefits, which I hear a lot about from many people. But not just the insurance, but the education and the templates, and just having someone you can call and reach out to if you're having an issue with something. PPA is a great organization, and I always recommend to people who are not members to actually join Professional Photographers of America, because I tell them the resources are incredible. So, but I'm going to go back to my story. So I went to Imaging USA, and when I was going through the program, I noticed that there was a session on diversity. And during my time, in the sessions, I met a couple of other LGBT photographers, and we had talked about, oh, what's this? It's all about diversity. So we decided to go and check it out. We got to the room. The room was packed, by the way. It was standing room only. It was a great session, and lots of great conversation. The gentleman who led the conversation did a really great job. But the one thing that was really lacking in this discussion was the LGBT community. It was all about race and where you're from and what is your race and how and that kind of thing. But so they went around the room and asked people what their backgrounds were. And well, I'm African American, I'm Latino, and Asian. And then they got to me and they're like, so what's your background? And I was like, well, I'm gay. And I brought up that that we really seem to be missing an important discussion of including LGBTQ people in the conversation in the diversity session. It was really not even mentioned until I brought it up, and that was close to 45 minutes into the session. After that, the session was over, it was great, and I got a chance to say, what I thought should be added to it. Several people came up to me. They said they were from the planning committee. They were, if I was interested in doing anything at the next Imaging USA. I said, absolutely, let me know. I would love to help out any way I can. Gave them my information, and I've heard nothing from anybody who talked to me that day to this point. So after I got home from imaging, I took time to write an email to Mary, who was the president of a PPA at that time, and I want to read it right here. I got it in my hands. Mary, first I wanted to say thanks for being a great leader and bringing Imaging USA back to in-person. I had a fantastic time in National Harbor. This year I followed the business trek versus the creative trek. Since I got my certification last year, I figured a business approach would be great, and I was not disappointed. I was very excited to see a session on diversity included in the event. I attended the session. It was a great discussion, and the gentleman from Detroit was a great session leader. So many great ideas and thoughts were shared. The only thing I say is missing from the session was the lack of inclusion of the LGBT community. The discussion was based more on race than the inclusion of LGBT people and disabled people as well. This left a big segment out of the discussion. So that's generally what I said. So at the end of the email, so I was like, there are now. I'm thinking, what can I do to get more LGBT inclusion in PPA and Imaging USA? There are a lot of LGBT photographers out there. Some are members of PPA. Since gay marriage was legalized, photography in the gay community has gone up and it's in the billions of dollars. And I said I would love to talk with you and or your staff to see what we can do to make this event more inclusive than ever before. Please let me know what I can do to make PPA even better than ever. I would love to be involved. Thank you for your time. And that was the email I sent her. And then I got a response, and Mary's response was great. She wrote, JR, thank you so much for your comments, but more importantly, thank you for being a part of PPA and IUSA. I totally love what you are sharing and will pass this along to the education team. As you can imagine, we try our best, but can always do better. Thank you so much. Hopefully I get a chance to meet you. Looking forward to an even bigger and better event in Nashville in 2023. I sent that, in January 27th of 2022, and I've heard nothing from anyone. Has the conversation gone anywhere? What's happening? I've offered my opportunity to come in and work, and so I don't know. I'm just kind of at a loss. So I kind of feel like one of the things where PPA can improve on a little bit is a follow-up and communication. That's very important to members, especially with somebody who's in maybe a smaller minority community. They need to know that they're being thought of and being taken care of, and that their input is important to the organization in a whole. And that's where I feel like I want to help. I want to come in and I want to try to give a little perspective on the LGBTQ community and see how we can get them more involved in the Professional Photographers of America. Then in June of 2022, on the Loop, I wrote a post saying Happy Pride Month. And in the post I said I would love to hear from other LGBTQ photographers, and I'd love to see how you reach out to your community. Are there any issues you have? How do you overcome them? Just as a general reach out on the Loop. And I got a lot of hate responses. And so many that actually they took the post down off of the Loop. Not because of my post, but because of the posts of others. And how they don't support this, they don't do that. And I had nothing to do with that. I asked about, hey, are there any other LGBT photographers who are members? How do you reach out to the community? What issues have you had? Just trying to find out a way to bring in some talk about the community. I got a lot of personal responses. People reached out to me. I have friends now all over the country who are LGBT photographers and are members of PPA, but they've never seen anybody actually post anything like this before. So the post came down. I waited a few days. I reposted it, and then it came down again because again so many hate responses came in. So there's a lot of work to be done in diversity in general in PPA and with the LGBTQ community. And I just want to find a way to build a bridge to PPA and the LGBT community. And I would love to, one of my ideas was to actually hook up PPA with the National Gay and Lesbian Chamber of Commerce. And they've got some amazing programs for corporations and nonprofits and diversity. It's astounding how awesome these programs are. And by going through one of their programs, and not just diversity with LGBTQ people, but it's diversity in general, including race and disabilities and LGBTQ. So that's where I feel like I really want to help. I feel like I could somehow make a little bit of a difference to PPA in this manner right there. And when they posted that they were looking for people for the board of directors, specifically they were looking for diversity and LGBTQ people to apply, people who responded to me on the post actually said, you are going to apply for the board of directors. And I was like, what are you talking about? And they sent me the notice. And I'm thinking maybe one or two of them may have actually nominated me too. But I also put my own name in. I didn't want to, I want to be, because I felt like, someone needs to kind of step up a little bit and see what we can do to make it more inclusive. And then I was looking through 2023 imaging, and I noticed there was that 1 hour diversity discussion again. But we got to be a little realistic. Is 1 hour really enough to talk about diversity and the different types of communities? Why we don't have a section for disabled photographers or LGBTQ photographers? Why not have a diversity lounge, or like where they do the competition photos and they put them out there? Why not have an area for people in diverse communities to showcase their work? They don't have to be in the competition. But here's an opportunity to say, hey, look what the African American community does in their photography. Look what the gay community does in their photography. Look what disabled people can do with their photography. Just as a showcase, just give people an opportunity to show their work. And that's what really makes the difference and brings everybody together, is through their artistry and through their work. And we have an opportunity to show that to the world, especially at Imaging USA. And I think that's one way we can bridge some of these people who kind of have a different view of the world, and to, you know, and speaking with LGBTQ people and African American people. Let's bring the diversity into it so we can create a better organization and make everybody have a great time at Imaging USA, and showcase those who really want to show their work and show how they make a difference in their own communities. That would be a great, great achievement for PPA, and I would love to be the one to help. Thank you.